Oceans make up 2/3 of the world. Instead of acting of what they should be, they are a dumping ground for plastic that we no longer wish to keep. Organizations like Surfrider are here to do damage control. They help the public learn what's wrong and right. They educate the public and spread influence all around the world about what should be done to change what we have created. With pollution being one of the biggest contributors to the downfall of our oceans, Surfrider, a nonprofit, takes time to make changes involving educating all people of its effects, explaining how enjoyment comes with cleanliness, as well as they show how putting in hard work always creates an impactful future. If pollution continues at the rate it is currently going in, where more than 80% of pollution in the oceans are caused by humans, more coral bleaching will occur, sea levels will continue to rise, resulting from polar ice caps melting, as well as the ecosystem completely changing, adapting to its new environment. Everyday surfers, Tom Pratt, Glenn Henning, and Lance Carson, started out protesting the treatment of their waters in California. This is where Surfrider was founded and born. Later, their protest turned into their nonprofit organization they today are using to make changes. Today, Surfrider has over 160 chapters around the world focusing on getting laws and views changed about the acceptance of ocean pollution, as well as having representation in schools of all ages. They have a team consisting of scientists to legal associates to maintain their reputation. When looking at why ocean pollution is such a big thing today, we can look at the fact that more plastic is in our oceans than fish. 8 million metric tons of pollution, which is plastic, everyday things that we can use, go in each year. This equals about 57,000 blue whales. It is expected if at this rate we still continue to pollute our oceans, by 2050 all of the fish will be outweighed by the pollution itself. Right now we have 5 plastic patches in our sea, and because of this we have the remainder coming up onto land that do not get stuck and pulled into these patches. Not only does this pollute the water, but animals get stuck, injured, sick, and die. Every day poses a new threat. There are 9,800 oil spills that have been in the Gulf of Mexico since 2010. Part of the reason why 20,000 beaches close annually is due to this. Also, with the increase of carbon dioxide, the polar ice caps have been melting. And you might say, what does this have to do with pollution? We get more greenhouse gases from factories, transportation, and even our own houses when we get the daily unnecessary plastic that we use. Due to this, there are around $500 million of property loss a year because as the water rises, there's less land to build on. Human activities, as I said before, with our need of things, have a great impact on our oceans. With the melting of the ice caps, not only do we lose a lot of money from property loss, but people are also displaced. If what is happening today is not treated correctly, and it's just passed on from generation to generation, we aren't going to have much of a world. One of the founding purposes of Surfrider is to make sure that this does not happen. Surfrider promotes change in all of these areas to make sure that people go without no knowledge about what is going on, in which today they are making a change. On their team, they have old professors, people in certain specialties so specifics can be given, as well as themselves, where they are able to share what they have learned and what they have seen by doing. They share their knowledge with having different chapters in each city and state. These chapters are allowed to do what they feel would benefit their communities as well as look good for the organization. On their website, surfrider.org, they have videos to explain the impact of what they do, how their impact changes the oceans, as well as points that lead people into healthier directions, as well as give information on why what they do is so important, not only to them, but for everybody else as well. Currently, with everything going on in the United States today, as well as all around the world, many things have gone on pause. Surfrider is still holding cleanups and making sure that beaches are clean and that the ecosystems themselves will not be stopped. But when you look at their Instagram, Surfrider has resources for a paddle for George Floyd, activist spotlights, the hashtag Black Lives Matter movement, and a professional speaker, Dr. Alana E. Johnson, to talk about what is going on in the world today and how to manage it. This shows that they are a well-rounded organization, and they care not only about what their mission is, but they care about everybody. When looking at Surfrider's mission statement to protect and enjoy beaches, their model of being local, regional, and national to ensure change is being brought up everywhere, make sure that everybody understands they can have a part in the change. Since 2006, they have had 669 victories in which they completed their task of cleaning water, cleaning a beach, getting laws passed, or just simply making sure access to beaches are allowed. They have broken them down into percentages for what specific section they have had victories in. For plastic pollution, that is 59% of their victories. Ocean protection is 18. Beach access is 11. Coastal preservation is 32. And clean water is 19. In their most recent campaign, it took place in California of last month, May of 2020. This campaign was about ocean protection. To see all of their campaigns, go to surfrider.org/campaigns. Surfrider has 5 main points of interest with conservation, beach access, clean water, coastal preservance, ocean protection, and plastic pollution. With all of these points to education, information, and acting on the organization, this helps grab the attention of both young and old in trying to create a healthier world for all of us to live in. By educating, explaining, and showing the problems that at least 2/3 of our world faces today, Surfrider is committed to making the change and seeing success the whole way through. In 2016, the organization started counting the numbers of victories they had, which I have said before is 669. We all care about the world we live in. We all think about the future generations and how they're going to be living, if it's going to be the same as today, or if it's going to be a little bit more like yesterday. In order to make sure that they will be safe, healthy, and content means that change is needed. Organizations like Surfrider are ones that will make sure this happens. Looking at civic engagement in the areas surrounding pollution in the oceans, an organization that was founded in 1984, Surfrider, not only cleans the ocean, but also makes sure that the future generations have a chance at life. This organization has so much outreach. They are spreading knowledge about pollution and why it's important not only to maintain the beaches and water we have, but to make sure we can enjoy it as well. They are a non-profit organization with over 600,000 members, and they hope that as more awareness is being brought into the light and as more education is being spread surrounding the coastal lines, that every win, every victory will have an influence on policymakers as well as being the change in pollution laws.